Hello students, in the previous class I have discussed charges and their properties. इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज क्या होता है, इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज की प्रॉपर्टी क्या होती है, ये हमने पूरे टॉपिक डिस्कस किए थे. एंड वी नो दैट देयर आर टू टाइप ऑफ चार्जेस. वन इज इनिशियली नोन एज विट्रियस चार्ज, अदर इज नोन एज रेजिनियस चार्ज, और जिनको बेंजामिन फ्रैंकलिन ने कन्वेंशनली नाम देके वन इज नोन एज पॉजिटिव चार्ज एंड अदर इज नोन एज नेगेटिव चार्ज. Now in this class I am going to discuss methods of charging, how we can charge a body, that we are going to discuss. So there are three methods of charging. One is known as charging by friction, other is known as charging by induction, and the third one is known as charging by conduction. So there are three main methods. Number one is charging by friction, other is charging by induction, and charging by conduction. We will discuss these three topics further. But before discussing these three topics, charging by friction, by induction or by conduction, I am giving some brief detail regarding the atomic structure. क्लास 9 से हम जानते हैं, आपने पढ़ा होगा बोर मॉडल के अकॉर्डिंग टू बोर मॉडल, if we talk about an atom, then atom consists of, according to Bohr model, atom consists of electrons and protons. Protons are inside the nucleus. Protons are concentrated within a very small center, within a very small region that is known as nucleus, and electrons revolve around the nucleus. And from class 9 atomic structure, you know that total number of electrons is equals to total number of protons. All protons of the atom resides at the center. Therefore, total positive charge and approximately whole of the mass of the atom is concentrated at a very small volume that is known as nucleus, and electrons revolve around the nucleus. And one point we should keep in mind, whenever we talk about these three type of process, either friction, induction or conduction, there will be only and only movement of electrons, not of protons. Protons will not move in any situation, electron will move. Now I am quite considering the electronic configuration. इनकी electronic configuration की थोड़ी सी हम बात करते हैं, तो हम ये देखते हैं कि कुछ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स इनर सेल में होंगे, कुछ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आउटर सेल में होंगे, कुछ इलेक्ट्रॉन और आउटर सेल में होंगे. इट मीन्स इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को दो टाइप में हम डिवाइड कर सकते हैं. वैलेंसी इलेक्ट्रॉन, वैलेंसी इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर लूजली बाउंड विद द न्यूक्लियस. और किस न्यूक्लियस में कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन होंगे, कितने लूजली बाउंड होंगे, कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन वो दे सकता है, कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन ले सकता है, ये सब उसके एटॉमिक नंबर और उसके इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन पे डिपेंड करता है, जिसको बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल में जानने की जरूरत हमें नहीं है. यू नो ऑल दिस टॉपिक. अभी मैं यहाँ पे डिस्कस करना चाह रहा हूँ कि व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट एनी मैटर, देन देयर मे बी टू टाइप्स ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ वी टॉक अबाउट कंडक्टर और इंसुलेटर. अगर हम कंडक्टर और इंसुलेटर की बात करते हैं, then what is the basic difference कंडक्टर इंसुलेटर और वी कैन से डायरेक्ट्रिक. नेचर में कोई भी मैटर हो, उसी किसी प्रकार का मैटर हो, हर मैटर, ऑल द मैटर इज मेड अप ऑफ एटम्स. हर टाइप के एटम मैटर में क्या है, एटम्स है. ये पेन है, इसमें एटम है, ये बोर्ड है, इसमें एटम है. हमारे चारों ओर सब जगह जहां कहीं भी कोई ऑब्जेक्ट दिखाई दे रहा है, एवरी ऑब्जेक्ट इज मेड ऑफ मैटर, एंड मैटर कंसिस्ट ऑफ एटम, एटम कंसिस्ट ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स एंड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. तो एटम सब जगह होंगे. एटम अगर होंगे तो वहां पे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स होंगे, प्रोटॉन्स होंगे. अब अगर हम उनके इलेक्ट्रॉन्स के मूवमेंट को देखें तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग हम इनको दो टाइप में डिवाइड कर सकते हैं. एक होते हैं कंडक्टर, एक होता है इंसुलेटर. दोज मटेरियल्स इन विच देयर इज नंबर ऑफ फ्री इलेक्ट्रॉन्स अवेलेबल for the conduction of charge or conduction of current are known as conductors. In which in conductors there are free electrons. They are freely movable. They are free electrons, but in insulators they are bound electrons. In insulator there are bound electrons, but in conductors there are number of free electrons available. And in insulators there is bound electron. So since there are free electrons and bound electrons, and they are bounded with the nucleus. That is the basic introduction related to atomic structure. And we know that every atom is having different electrons and different protons, different electrons and their different electronic configuration. हर एक एटम का अलग अलग इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन होगा और अलग अलग उसका एटॉमिक नंबर होगा, जिसके अकॉर्डिंग उसके प्रोटॉन और इलेक्ट्रॉन्स होंगे. तो दिस इज द बेसिक नॉलेज. अब देखिए, आप किसी भी मैटर की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो उसके इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं, उन इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को अगर हम निकालना चाहते हैं, if we want to pull that electron or push that electron or remove that electron from a particular atom, we have to supply some energy. अगर एक एटम A है, एक मटेरियल B है, A में कुछ इलेक्ट्रॉन है, B में कुछ इलेक्ट्रॉन है, अगर आप A से B में कुछ इलेक्ट्रॉन देना चाहते हैं, if we want to supply some electron from A to B or B to A, we have to do some work or we have to supply some energy. Without supplying energy, we cannot move. और A से B में इलेक्ट्रॉन जाएंगे या B से A में इलेक्ट्रॉन जाएंगे, ये उनके इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन और इलेक्ट्रॉन लेने की या इलेक्ट्रॉन देने की एबिलिटी पे डिपेंड करेगा. That we need not to discuss in very detail. So first of all, I am going to discuss the topic charging by friction. Charging by friction, and then we will discuss charging by induction or conduction. Let us suppose one body is A and another body is B. And I am using a very famous example. Let us suppose this is a glass body and this is silk. जैसे कि जस्ट मैंने भी बताया, एक बॉडी को दूसरी बॉडी के साथ रब करने से, if one body is rubbed with other, किससे किसमें इलेक्ट्रॉन ट्रांसफर होंगे, ये उस बॉडी की प्रॉपर्टी पे डिपेंड करता है. एंड from previous class we have discussed that when glass is rubbed with silk, glass acquire positive charge and silk acquire negative charge. It means glass से silk में इलेक्ट्रॉन ट्रांसफर हो रहे हैं. लेकिन इसके लिए कंडीशन क्या? What is the essential condition? We have to rub glass and silk. By rubbing there will be friction. If we rub them then there will be friction. अगर इन दोनों को एक साथ लाके हम रब करेंगे, रबिंग से फ्रिक्शन, और फ्रिक्शन से क्या होगा? हीट प्रोड्यूस होगी. देयर विल बी हीट एनर्जी. फ्रिक्शन प्रोड्यूसेस हीट एनर्जी and this heat energy is responsible for transfer of electron from one body to other. Because if we supply heat energy and this heat energy is sufficient, is more than sufficient the energy required, then and then electron will transfer from one body to other body. Clear? So when heat energy is sufficient that it can transfer electron from one body to B, then electron will transfer, and depending upon that the body will acquire positive charge or negative charge. Let us suppose from glass, this is glass, here it is silk. Let us suppose there is transfer of 3 electrons. There is transfer of 3 electrons, then it acquire 3 and it acquire -3. Why +3? Because initially it is neutral, and neutral does not mean that there are no charges. अगर कोई बॉडी न्यूट्रल है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि उसमें चार्जेस नहीं है. Yes, there are charges, but they are equal and opposite. तो पहले इसमें जितने प्रोटॉन थे, total number of protons and total number of electrons were same before rubbing, but after rubbing what happens, 3 electron transfer from A to B. It means there is deficiency of 3 electrons, or we can say there are 3 more protons. Therefore, there will be plus 3 charge, and there is 3 more electron, or we can say 3 excess electron. Therefore, there will be minus 3 charge. So by this way, we can use the method of friction, or we can say by this we can use, or this method we can use for charging of a body. Whenever two bodies are rubbed against each other, there may be transfer of electron from one body to other. The body which loses some electron becomes positive in charge, and the body which gains some electrons becomes negative charge. Which body become negative, which body become positive, that will depend on their properties. But for simplicity, here is certain common examples of charging by friction. और इनको जनरली हम दो टाइप में डिवाइड कर सकते हैं. नंबर इज woolen like object and other is plastic like object. Generally it is observed that woolen like objects become positive and plastic like object become negative. For example, here we can say fur, we can say cotton, we can say wool. Here we can say plastic scale. Here we can say resin, ebonite. These are the certain plastic-like objects. Plastic scale, resin, ebonite. Here we can say fur, cotton, wool. These objects will become positive charge, and these objects will become negative charge. And these are number of examples in our daily life related to charging by friction. For example, मैंने पहली क्लास में बताया था आपको इससे पहले कि generally if we rub comb with our dry hair, it means comb is plastic-like structure. Comb with dry hair, so hair will be in the woolen-like structure. In that case, we can see that both body become charged. So that phenomenon is known as charging by friction. So in charging by friction, what is the essential requirement? Friction should produce heat energy, and that heat energy should be sufficient so that electron can transfer from one body to other body. And there are very common examples of charging by friction. Best example इसका हम बता सकते हैं ऑटोमोबाइल्स के. कि when automobiles, अगर कोई ऑटोमोबाइल एयर में मूव करता है तो एयर के अंदर उसका फ्रिक्शन होगा, और फ्रिक्शन होने से ऑटोमोबाइल की बॉडी पे क्या आ जाएगा, चार्ज आ जाएगा, और हमें उस चार्ज को अर्थ करना होगा ताकि वो कहीं स्पार्किंग प्रोड्यूस नहीं दे. अर्थिंग करके और हम उस चार्ज को वहां से हटाएंगे, बॉडी को न्यूट्रल करेंगे. तो जहां कहीं भी फ्रिक्शन होगा, फ्रिक्शन से क्या होगा, चार्जेस डेवलप होंगे और बॉडी बिकम पॉजिटिव चार्ज एंड नेगेटिव चार्ज. तो दिस इज द फिनोमेना ऑफ चार्जिंग बाय फ्रिक्शन. Now I am asking one or two questions related to friction. First we can say, when glass rod is rubbed with silk, which acquire positive charge, which acquire negative charge. So just I have discussed that when glass rod is rubbed with silk, glass acquire positive charge and silk acquire negative charge. Glass acquire positive charge and silk acquire negative charge. Second, we can say when glass is rubbed with ebonite, glass is rubbed with ebonite, glass acquire positive charge, ebonite acquire negative charge. Third, we can say glass is rubbed with plastic, then it acquires positive charge, it acquires negative charge. So these are the certain common examples related to charging by friction. How charges are produced in the friction. Now one more question. That is very important question of NCERT. Question number 4. It is observed that when glass rod is rubbed with silk, it is given in the question. It is given in the question that when glass rod is rubbed with silk, glass becomes positive charge and silk becomes negative charge. This is given in the question. Question is that when a glass rod is rubbed with silk, glass acquire positive charge and silk acquire negative charge. The question is that is there any transfer of mass? Is there any transfer of mass? First part is there any transfer of mass? And if yes, then from which to which? First question is this, is there any transfer of mass? Yeah. First question is this, is there any transfer of mass? B part, if yes, then from which to which? If yes, then from which to which? Is there any transfer of mass? And if yes, then from which to which? So definitely we have discussed that when glass rod is rubbed with silk, electron transfer from glass to silk. Electrons transfer from glass to silk. Electron transfer from glass to silk. So since electron transfer from glass to silk, it means electrons are moving in silk. Therefore, mass of silk will be more. So electron will transfer from glass to silk. इलेक्ट्रॉन का ट्रांसफर होगा और ट्रांसफर होने से सिल्क में इलेक्ट्रॉन ज्यादा हो जाएंगे. नाउ वी कैन आस्क वन मोर क्वेश्चन कि क्या सिल्क का मास बढ़ेगा? यस, सिल्क का मास बढ़ेगा. क्यों? क्योंकि उसमें इलेक्ट्रॉन कुछ ज्यादा आ गए हैं. लेकिन अगर उसकी वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करें तो वैल्यू बहुत कम होगी, नेग्लिजिबली स्मॉल होगी, क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रॉन का मास बहुत कम होता है. बट इफ द क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड इन यस और नो, डेफिनेटली वी विल से yes, there will be transfer of mass from which to which, from glass to silk. ग्लास से सिल्क में इलेक्ट्रॉन जाएंगे तो इलेक्ट्रॉन जाने के कारण इलेक्ट्रॉन के मास की वजह से मास का ट्रांसफर भी होगा. तो इज देयर ए ट्रांसफर ऑफ मास? यस. सिल्क का मास कुछ ज्यादा होगा, लेकिन वो इतना कम होगा, नेग्लिजिबली स्मॉल होगा कि हम उसको नेग्लेक्ट कर सकते हैं. तो दिस इज व्हाट अबाउट चार्जिंग बाय फ्रिक्शन. नाउ इन नेक्स्ट टॉपिक और नेक्स्ट पार्ट we are going to discuss charging by induction. First of all, I am recalling this again, charging by friction. Whenever two bodies are rubbed against each other, due to heat energy, due to friction, there will be heat energy, and that heat energy is responsible for the transfer of electron from one body to other. But that heat energy should be sufficient enough so that electron can transfer from one body to other. और किस बॉडी से किस बॉडी में इलेक्ट्रॉन ट्रांसफर होंगे, ये उनके इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन पे और इलेक्ट्रॉन लेने या देने की कैपेसिटी पे डिपेंड करता है. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक में डिस्कस कर रहे हैं चार्जिंग बाय इंडक्शन. चार्जिंग बाय इंडक्शन. वी हैव डिस्कस्ड चार्जिंग बाय फ्रिक्शन एंड नाउ वी आर डिस्कसिंग चार्जिंग बाय इंडक्शन. So first of all, I am defining what is meant by charging by induction. The phenomenon of charging of a body with the help of other charged body without any physical contact. Without any physical contact is known as charging by induction. Phenomena of charging of a body with the help of other charged body without any physical contact between these two bodies is known as charging by induction. Let us suppose there is one body A and we want to charge this positively. हम इसको पॉजिटिवली चार्ज करना चाहते हैं और ये हमें ध्यान रखना है. इफ वी वांट टू चार्ज दिस पॉजिटिवली वी हैव टू ब्रिंग ए नेगेटिवली चार्ज प्लेट नियर इट, एंड इफ वी वांट टू चार्ज इट नेगेटिवली वी हैव टू ब्रिंग ए पॉजिटिव प्लेट नियर इट. हाउ इट वर्क वी आर डिस्कसिंग हियर. So let us suppose this is uncharged body. Again I am recalling this. This is uncharged. It means there are charges but they are equal and opposite. There are protons and electrons but they are equal and opposite. Therefore net charge of the body is 0. We want to charge is positively. इस बॉडी को हम पॉजिटिव चार्ज करना चाहते हैं, इसलिए हम क्या करेंगे, एक नेगेटिव चार्ज प्लेट. क्वेश्चन अराइज हो सकता है ये नेगेटिव चार्ज प्लेट कहां से? ये नेगेटिव चार्ज प्लेट हमने किसी अदर मेथड से चार्ज की है, जैसे हम कह सकते हैं फ्रिक्शन से. हमने इस बॉडी को नेगेटिव चार्ज ऑलरेडी कर रखा है और ये नेगेटिव चार्ज प्लेट हम इसके पास ला रहे हैं, नॉट वी आर टचिंग, इसके पास ला रहे हैं. इफ दिस नेगेटिव चार्ज प्लेट इज मूविंग टुवर्ड्स दिस, इस बॉडी के यहाँ के इलेक्ट्रॉन, द इलेक्ट्रॉन ऑन दिस साइड starts moving in this side. Electron from this side starts moving in this side. So after some time what will happen, in this side there is electrons. इलेक्ट्रॉन का ट्रांसफर इस साइड में हो जाएगा एंड जो पॉजिटिव चार्जेस थे वो अपने प्लेस पे ही है. यहाँ पे देयर इज पॉजिटिव चार्जेस. ये सिचुएशन हो गई है. एक नेगेटिव चार्ज प्लेट हम पास में ला रहे हैं. नेगेटिव चार्ज प्लेट पास में लाने से यहाँ के इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रिपेल होंगे और रिपेल होकर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स इस साइड आ गए, लेकिन स्फीयर के अंदर ही है. दे आर इनसाइड दिस बॉडी, दे आर विद इन दिस स्फीयर. दिस इज चार्ज बॉडी, दैट इज नेगेटिव चार्ज. और इस नेगेटिव चार्ज ने क्या किया, इनके डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन को चेंज कर दिया. ये जो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स पहले यहाँ पे यूनिफॉर्मली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड थे, नाउ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर इन दिस साइड और पॉजिटिव चार्ज इस साइड में. ऐसी सिचुएशन क्रिएट हो. अगर इसी सिचुएशन में हम इस रोड को हटा लेते हैं यहाँ से, तो ये चार्ज वापस रीडिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो जाएगा और ये बॉडी न्यूट्रल रहेगी, या हम कह सकते हैं ये बॉडी चार्ज नहीं होगी. बट वी वांट टू चार्ज इट, देयरफॉर व्हाट वी डू. अब हम क्या करेंगे, इस पार्ट को, और ये भी ध्यान रखिए जरूरी नहीं यहाँ कनेक्ट करें, यहाँ कनेक्ट करें, कहीं से भी हम इस पार्ट को वी विल कनेक्ट विद द ग्राउंड. वी विल कनेक्ट इट विद द ग्राउंड. और हम जानते हैं अर्थ की चार्ज कैरिंग कैपेसिटी इनफाइनाइट है, इसलिए क्या होगा, एज सून एज वी कनेक्ट इट, हम जो ही इसको कनेक्ट करेंगे, ऑल्दो वी कैन रिप्रेजेंट बाय डिफरेंट डायग्राम्स, बट आई एम डिस्कसिंग ओनली दिस डायग्राम. जैसे ही हम इसको अर्थ से कनेक्ट करेंगे, इलेक्ट्रॉन ट्रांसफर हो जाएंगे. इलेक्ट्रॉन्स मूव्स टू द अर्थ, इलेक्ट्रॉन अर्थ की ओर मूव कर जाएंगे. तो सिचुएशन क्या होगी, नेक्स्ट सिचुएशन में डायग्राम से डिस्कस कर रहा हूं. This will be the next situation. Yet this plate is as it is. We have not removed the negative plate. ये as it is है. यहाँ पे प्लस चार्ज भी as it is है. और नेगेटिव चार्ज पूरा का पूरा कहाँ चला गया, अर्थ में चला गया. ये पूरा नेगेटिव चार्ज अर्थ में चला गया है. एंड नाउ वी विल रिमूव दिस अर्थ कॉन्टेक्ट. तो अगर ये नेगेटिव चार्ज अर्थ में चला गया है, तो इस कंडीशन में क्या है, ये पूरा का पूरा टोटल चार्ज नेगेटिव अर्थ को चला गया. और उसके बाद हमने क्या कर दिया, अर्थ का कॉन्टेक्ट हटा दिया. जैसे अर्थ का कॉन्टेक्ट हटा दिया, इट मींस नेगेटिव इलेक्ट्रॉन्स मूव इनसाइड द अर्थ एंड देयर आर ओनली दिस पॉजिटिव चार्जेस, बट दिस नेगेटिव चार्ज प्लेट इज हियर. एंड फाइनली वी विल रिमूव दिस नेगेटिव चार्ज प्लेट, देन these charges will redistribute and the body will become positive charge. तो how many steps we have discussed? In first step हम एक क्या करेंगे, we will bring a negatively charged plate near the sphere. This is first step. In first step we will bring a negatively charged plate near the uncharged body. In second step what will happen, Due to this negative charge plate, positive charge remain in this side, but negative charge repel on this side. This is the second step. In third step, we will connect this part of the body with the earth, or we can say earth connected, or we can say grounded. Then what will happen in fourth step? All electrons goes to the earth. जितने भी इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्सेस इलेक्ट्रॉन है वो सब कहाँ चले जाएंगे? अर्थ में चले जाएंगे. एंड नाउ वी विल रिमूव द कॉन्टेक्ट विद द अर्थ. इस कॉन्टेक्ट को हटा देंगे. इसको यहाँ रखते हुए हम अर्थ के कॉन्टेक्ट को हटा देंगे और फाइनली वी विल रिमूव दिस. उसके बाद सबसे लास्ट में हम इसको हटाएंगे. पूरी बॉडी क्या हो जाएगी? पॉजिटिव चार्ज हो जाएगी. एंड फाइनली वी विल गेट दिस टाइप ऑफ सिचुएशन. The charge will redistribute like this and the body become positive charge. So this is how we can charge an uncharged body with the help of a charged body without any physical contact. Here we have not made any physical contact between this and this. Okay? So by this way we can charge an uncharged body with the help of a charged body. If we want to charge it negatively, अगर हम इसको नेगेटिव चार्ज करना चाहते हैं तो हमें क्या लाना होगा? वी हैव टू ब्रिंग ए पॉजिटिव प्लेट नियर इट. दिस इज चार्जिंग बाय इंडक्शन. हाउ ए बॉडी कैन बी चार्ज बाय इंडक्शन. दिस इज सिंगल स्फीयर. नाउ आई एम कंसीडरिंग सेकंड सिचुएशन. Let us suppose there are two spheres. One is A, other is B, and both are in contact. This point is important. Both are in contact. Other is B. And we want to charge these two spheres by the method of induction. One sphere is A, other sphere is B. We want to charge these two spheres by using the method of induction. And just we have discussed that in induction there is no physical contact with the charging body. इन दोनों के बीच कांटेक्ट होगा, लेकिन चार्जिंग बॉडी के बीच में और इनके बीच में कोई कांटेक्ट नहीं होगा. तो दिस इज स्फीयर A, दिस इज स्फीयर B, and we want to charge these two spheres by the method of induction. Let us suppose we bring a negatively charged plate near sphere A. Negative charge plate sphere A के just पास में ला रहे. Negative charge plate near sphere B. इससे क्या होगा? What will happen? Total electrons, all electrons of sphere A have a tendency to move in this side. And since these two are connected, it means electrons are having conducting path. Electrons are having a conducting path between A and B. These are two metal spheres. They are touched with each other, A to B. Therefore, as soon as we bring this negatively charged plate near A, positive charges accumulate on this side. Accumulate means here electrons have moved out. Positive charge अपने प्लेस में, लेकिन यहाँ के इलेक्ट्रॉन्स क्या हो गए? इस साइड चले गए कुछ इलेक्ट्रॉन. And since here is conducting path, so therefore these electrons transfer from A to B and then on the surface. एक बात आपको ध्यान रखनी है, कंडक्टर्स को जब भी इलेक्ट्रॉन देते हैं, whenever charge is given to a conductor, it resides only on the surface of the conductor, not inside the conductor. Therefore, this negative charges accumulate on this side. This is the situation. Here is some positive charge, here is some negative charge, and this plate is here. This plate is placed just at this point. We have not removed this, we have not touched this plate with A or with B. But by the presence of this plate, what will happen? Here is positive charge, here is negative charge. There is no any excess charge, but there is redistribution of charges. Electron from A sphere A moved to sphere B. Now, with keeping this plate just at this place, we will remove the contact between A and B. Now, we remove contact between A and B. Now we remove contact between A and B, but this plate is still here. Then what will happen? This type of situation we get. Since we have removed the contact, this negative charge will distribute. So B become negatively charged. B become negatively charged, and this plate is still here. So here is like this. And finally, what we do? We will remove this plate also. Finally, हम इस plate को भी यहाँ से हटा देंगे. Finally, we will remove this plate also. Then what will happen? This positive charge will distribute uniformly, and we get this negative charges over the body. This is body A. It means finally body A become positive charge and this body become negative charge. This is charging by induction. Body B become negative charge and A become positive charge. So by this way we can charge two metallic spheres A and B with the help of induction. This is what about charging by induction. So there is some question related to charging by induction. Most important point in the induction is that there should not be any physical contact between charging body and the body which we are going to charge. And another point is that we have discussed in first case of charging by induction, that whenever we want to charge a single sphere positively, we have to bring a negatively charged body near it. And if we want to negatively charge a sphere, we have to bring a positive plate near it, but there should not be any physical contact. This is charging by induction. Third and last topic is charging by conduction. We have discussed charging by friction, then we have discussed charging by induction, and finally we are discussing charging by conduction. And charging by conduction is mainly for the conductors. This method is applicable only for the conductors charging by conduction. And for that we have to use the concept of potential. That I am going to discuss in brief. In class 10th we have discussed that electric potential V equals to W by Q. From class 10th we can recall this. V equals to W by Q, that is known as electric potential. Electric potential means amount of work in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to a particular point is defined as electric potential. Here we will use the concept of electric potential in charging by induction. And to understand the concept of potential in a very easy manner, I am discussing a very important example. Let us suppose there are two water tanks. One tank is A and other is named as B. After discussing this, you will be easily able to understand the concept of potential. There is two water tank, one is A, other is B. A is having water up to this level. I am not discussing the quantity of water, level of water. A is having water up to this level and B is having water up to this level. And they are connected with the help of a pipe. And there is also one valve which can be on and off. Initially the valve is off. Initially the valve is in off position. Initially the valve is off. A is having this much of level of water. B is having this much of level of water. It means, let us suppose this height is h1 and this height is h2. Then you can easily see that there is a level difference. There is a level difference. Please note the word level difference. That is, level difference will be h1 minus h2. There is level difference. h1 minus h2. Up to this position, the valve is in off condition. Off condition. Water in A is up to h1. Water in B is up to level h2. Now you can easily understand what will happen as soon as we on this valve. As soon as we on this valve, water starts flowing from A to B. Water flows from A to B. Now if question is asked, why water is flowing from A to B? The answer will be level difference. Water is flowing from A to B due to level difference. And now from class 11, we can also relate with the concept of potential energy. Here it is having higher energy. Here it is having lower energy. It means water is flowing due to difference in potential energy. Potential means strength, we can say here. Water is flowing from A to B due to level difference. And up to which point or up to which situation water flows? Till level difference become 0. Till level difference equals to 0. As soon as the level difference becomes 0, water flow stops. It means, what important conclusion we get from this example? Water flows, I am writing here, water flows due to level difference. Water flows due to level difference, and up to which point water flows? Till their difference become 0. Up to the point there is some level difference, water flows from high level to low level, or we can say higher potential, we can say higher energy level to low energy level, till their energy level become equal. Now the same concept we can use for the conductors. We have to change only one word. Water flows due to level difference, and now we can use the word charge flows. Charge flows due to potential difference. Water flows due to level difference between 2 points, and charge flows due to potential difference between 2 points of a conductor. Whenever there is difference of potential, charge flows from higher potential to low potential. Charge flows from higher potential to low potential. I think you are easily understanding. By the concept of this water flow, we can understand the flow of charges. Now we can say that charge flows due to potential difference between 2 points. points. If there is difference of potential between point A and point B, definitely there will be flow of charge. Okay, let us suppose we consider a conductor. One end is A, other end is B, and if this end A is at high potential, if this end A is at high potential, by any means that I am not going to discuss, and this is at low potential, A is at high potential and B is at low potential, then charge flows from high potential to low potential. Positive charge flows from higher potential to lower potential, and negative charge flows from lower potential to higher potential. Lower potential to higher potential. And the charge flow continues till their potential difference becomes 0. Or we can say the potential of A and potential of B become equal. Whenever A and B are equal, then charge flow stops. This phenomenon is known as charging by conduction. Hence, we have discussed 3 topics in this class that are very important topics. One is charging by friction, other is charging by induction, and then finally charging by conduction. Thank you.